Forget Disney. Tonight, we dive into the chilling world of mermaids, the mysterious half-human, half-fish beings that haunt oceans, rivers, and legends across the globe. From ancient goddesses Atargatis to African water queens like Mami Wata, from Haiti's La Sirèn and Zimbabwe's mermaid-haunted dams, we'll explore centuries of myth, history, and yes, even modern eyewitness accounts and kidnapping stories. Were Columbus and Hudson really seeing mermaids, or were they just squinting at some manatees? Do spirits like njuzu and jengu still pull people under? And why did an entire city of Israel offer 1 million for proof of a mermaid? Science says no. Culture says yes. History says you were probably drunk. Either way, mermaids just won't let go. You know what's funny? For centuries, humans have claimed they've spotted half-naked ladies with flowing hair, glistening tails, and voices like honey. And somehow they always forget they were stranded at sea for 6 months, half-starved, or maybe confusing a manatee for Miss Universe. Tonight, we are plunging into the world of mermaids. Not the ones who sing with crabs and marry princes, but the ones who supposedly drag you under. From African water queens to Haitian sea goddesses, from Columbus's questionable eyesight to modern kidnapping rumors. So grab your snorkel because things are about to get fishy. Our first stop, ancient Syria. Meet Atargatis, part goddess, part fish. All drama. According to legend, she loved a mortal. Tragedy struck and she hurled herself into a lake. Boom. Mermaid. Ancient relief shows her with a fishtail century before Hans Christian Andersen is even a twinkle in his mother's eye. Meanwhile, the Greeks had sirens, originally bird women who lulled sailors with songs. Somewhere along the way, feathers molded into scales, and then suddenly, voila! We've got half-fish seductresses. Monks in the Middle Ages doubled down, sketching her with a comb and mirror. Basically, medieval Instagram influence warning you about vanity. And then comes the explorers. Columbus in 1493 saw mermaids near Hispaniola, then admitted they were not as beautiful as were painted. Translation, oops, it was a manatee. My bad. Henry Hudson in 1608 claimed the same. Woman on top, porpoise on bottom. Either way, seas were swarming with mermaids, or 17th century men really needed better glasses. Which is a possibility. Now, forget the pale little mermaids singing about forks. In Africa, mermaids are powerful, terrifying, and worshipped to this day. The queen of them all, Mami Wata, mother of water. She's part goddess, part spirit, sometimes part snake, and fully capable of changing your life. Or ending it. Mami Wata shows up everywhere. Paintings, masks, shrines, even nightclub posters. She's blessed us with wealth and healing if you're respectful. But anger her and you might get snatched into the underwater palace. Some people call it kidnapping, others call it spiritual initiation. Either way, if you disappear in the riverbank, nobody's blaming faulty life jackets. They're blaming her. And it's not just in West Africa. In Zimbabwe, the Shona people tell of the njuzu. In Cameroon, it's the jengu. They're guardians, healers, and fun fact, they're still headline major festivals. The annual Nganda Festival in Douala literally features offerings to the water spirits, with oracles delivered straight from the river. Picture Mardi Gras, but your parade float is an actual river goddess. And here's where folklore hits the front page. In 2012, Zimbabwean dam workers flat out refused to keep working. Dead serious. Why? They said mermaids were harassing them. Machines breaking, eerie encounters on the water. The government had to call in traditional leaders to perform the appeasement rituals. Yes, state infrastructure projects literally ground to a halt because of mermaids. Over Haiti, mermaids wear crowns. Enter La Sirène, one of Ewa of voodoo. She is beautiful, regal, and depending on who you ask, dangerously jealous. As consort to Agwe, ruler of the sea, she commands respect. Her symbols, mirrors, pearls, flowing hair, basically a pine interest board come to life. But she's no fairy tale. Believers talk about dreams of being summoned, taken beneath the waves, gifted wealth, or music. Disrespect her? Well, let's just say swimming lessons won't save you. For Haitians, La Sirène isn't a myth, it's faith. You'll see her on the altars, in processions, and whispered about in markets. Outsiders call it folklore, insiders call it a Tuesday. Mermaids didn't retire with the Middle Ages. They just got better PR. In Israel 2009, locals in Kiryat Yam swore they saw a mermaid leaping at dusk. The city council even offered a $1 million reward for proof. No one collected, but hey, tourism is skyrocketing. Zimbabwe, 2012. Remember those dam workers? Still one of the best modern mermaid news stories ever. Construction crews brought to their knees by something older than hard hats. And then there's Animal Planet's fake documentary Mermaids, the body found in 2012. It blurred fact and fiction so well that the NOAA, yes, the actual U.S. Ocean Agency, had to release a statement: no evidence of aquatic humanoids has ever been found. Imagine being so convincing that the government has to step in and say, guys, chill. Mermaids aren't real. Now let's stir the pot a little with a spooky one. Mermaid kidnappings. In Africa, the Caribbean, stories abound of people taken beneath the water, sometimes return transformed, sometimes never at all. To outsiders, it sounds like a horror movie material. To insiders, it's spiritual reality. In Haitian voodoo, in Zimbabwe's njuzu tales, in Cameroon's jengu traditions, I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of that, being taken is part cautionary tale, part cosmic initiation. Here's the kicker. You won't find a police file labeled suspect mermaid crime kidnapping. Most vanishings attributed to mermaids are drownings, disappearances, or moral lessons wrapped in a story. Still, if you're near a river in Zimbabwe and someone says, don't swim there, the mermaids take people, are you really gonna argue? I'm not. If you want to go mermaid hunting, metaphorically, please don't use harpoons on anything. Here are your hot spots. La Sirène reigns in voodoo practice. Africa, Mami Wata and njuzu, with festivals and shrines still alive today. The Caribbean and South America, Watch Your Mama in Suriname and Guyana, Guinea in Cuba and Brazil. In Europe, medieval bestiaries, mermaid carvings on churches, sailor ballads about drowned lovers. Modern oddities, Kairat Yam's $1 million bounty. Basically, wherever there's water and humans, there's mermaids. So let's cut the net. Science says no evidence ever. NOAA is very clear. History says sailors were lonely and manatees don't look bad when you've been at sea for 6 months. Culture says mermaids are alive and well in art, ritual, religion, and in the way people interpreted danger. So are mermaids real? If you mean scaly supermodels, sorry, probably not. If you mean real in how humans shape meaning around water, absolutely. So next time when you're by the water and you hear singing, maybe it's just the wind, or maybe it's someone with a tail and a grudge. If you got a mermaid story, Haiti, Zimbabwe, or your grandma's fishing tales, drop it in the comments below. And if you want me to dive deeper into these njuzu initiations or that $1 million sighting in Israel, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Till then, stay curious, stay cautious, and maybe avoid late night skinny dippings. Have a good night, guys. Bye.